Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is CA Tony MP. I am a practicing chartered accountant. Through this channel, what I am going to do is to share with you the latest developments that is happening in the field of taxation, especially GST. On 1st of April 2025, that means yesterday, government came out with the GST collection data. So every month, on the last day of the month, government comes out with the GST collection data. And April 1st was the month in which the entire data for financial year 24-25 is published. So if we go through this collection data, we can understand that the total GST collection in our country has grown by almost 9.4% as compared to previous financial year. That means in 23-24, the amount that we collected in 23-24, suppose it is 100, and in this year, in 24-25, we have collected 110. That means almost 10%, 9.4% growth in the GST collection. And if you take monthly comparison, that means March 2024 is compared with March 2025, then there is 9.9% growth in the GST collection. And if you take the state of Kerala, for example, in Kerala, we have collected almost 2,850 crores in the month of March 2025, which is 9% more than what we collected in the March 2024. And if we consider the total collection of Kerala for the entire financial year 24-25, that is 6% more than the previous entire financial year. So what is the takeaway from this? The takeaway is this: as a nation, the GST collection is up by almost 9.4% for the whole year. But for Kerala, as a whole, for the entire financial year, the growth rate is only somewhere around 6%. So comparatively, the GST collection growth rate is less in Kerala. That is one point. Second point is, if you consider the growth of the economy, Indian economy grows at average 6.5%. And if you add rate of inflation to that, let us add inflation of 5%. So 6.5 plus 5, so it's equal to 11.5%. That is the growth rate in the economy. So when we say growth, it means GDP growth plus inflation growth. When we add both, we have somewhere around 11.5% growth. So GST growth rate is somewhere around 9.4%. So it is almost near to the GDP growth rate. So in that way, we can make an analysis of how the economy is growing. When economy grows, when the GDP grows, the GST collection will also grow. So in that way, we can compare these figures. State-wise data is also published, so we can understand that in more detail in another video. Another point that I would like to share with you is about the GST TDS return, GSTR 7. All of us know GST TDS is applicable when the deductor is a government department or a public sector undertaking. So if a government entity give a contract to a person, when government make payment to that person for the services, government will deduct GST TDS, and that amount will be deposited, and that amount will reach the customer, that means the deductee, and he can use that particular amount. So the point is, what new change has come? Till this date, what was happening was, the government departments will deduct TDS on the gross amount. The TDS amount was deducted, and the TDS return in GSTR 7 is filed on the gross amount without indicating separately whether this TDS belongs to invoice number 1, 2, 3. Not in that way. It is only gross amount. So there was a lot of difficulties to reconcile the figures from the viewpoint of the deductee and creates troubles from the GST department to this business people. One of the main issues is that the government, when they make payment to these parties, they don't accept invoice issued by the entity. They simply don't accept it. That was a very, very bad practice. They were not accepting. As a result, what was happening? The business entities were not raising invoice. So this created a lot of difficulties. What happened now is that from 1st April 2025 onwards, from yesterday onwards, as and when government department deduct TDS and file TDS return, in the TDS return form GSTR 7, they have to give the figures invoice wise. So what to happen? What is going to happen is, till now, the government departments were not accepting invoices from the deductees, that means from the business entities. From yesterday onwards, they have to accept this invoice, and in the TDS return they file, they have to mention the invoice wise data, invoice number, invoice date, invoice amount. So this will bring the GSTR 7 comparable to the relatable to the invoices, and it will be very easy for the business entities to reconcile the figures. And so far they were facing a lot of troubles, lot of additional demands by the GST department. So now on, there will be no such issue from 1st April onwards. So government departments must accept invoices, then only they can fill and file the GSTR 7. So this is a wonderful change. This is a welcome change that is made applicable. Another important point I would like to share with you is about a new section 74 capital A. This section is applicable from 24-25 financial year onwards. What is this new section? So far we know there are two sections which we are all familiar, that is section 73 and 74. Section 73 is used to create demand when there is genuine non-payment of tax, and 74 is used if it is a fraud case. So we have two sections, 73 and 74. Based on that, notices and orders are issued. But the important change that happened was from financial year 24-25 onwards, if you are getting a notice, it will not be under section 73 or 74. It will be only under section 74 capital A. So let me make it clear now, one more thing, that 74 capital A notice will be applicable only for the period starting from 24-25 onwards. Suppose you are getting a notice for any previous financial years. For example, you are getting a notice for 23-24. That notice will again be under 73 or 74. So if you are getting a notice for any financial years prior to 24-25, that will continue to be under section 73 or 74, and it is only for the demands pertaining to 24-25 the notices hereafter will be sent under section 74 capital. So this is a new section. This section is made applicable in the previous year itself. Now on, you may be getting notice for 24-25. So when you get 24-25 notice, you can see that this will be under section 74A. So I hope you got that point. 73, 74, 74A, all the three forms will still be there, but 73 and 74 will be up to 23-24 only. So if you are getting a demand for the earlier years, the demand will be under 73-74. That is my point. I hope you got this point very clear. So far, if you are liking this video, you can think of liking the video and also give me a thank you message in the comment section, so that will motivate me to do more. Another important point that I would like to share with you is about Finance Act 2025, which was already enacted on 29th March 2025. In the yesterday's video itself, I have told you that even if it is enacted, the changes pertaining to GST will be applicable only after some more time. Government will notify the GST changes. It is only from the notified date the GST related changes in the Finance Act 2025 will be effective. So as far as GST changes are concerned, we have to wait a little bit more. That is my point. Even today, the notification has not yet come. We have to wait. As and when it is notified, I will be informing you through this channel. Another aspect that I would like to share with you is about amnesty. Section 128A amnesty we have already applied. The appeals existing have been withdrawn, and we have time up to 30th of June 2025 to file the application for amnesty. So, but many taxpayers face a lot of practical difficulties in paying this amount, and some of them tried to file. There were technical issues, technical glitches. So there were a lot of issues. So it is, in my view, considering the practical difficulties taxpayers were facing, it is highly beneficial if the government extends the last date to pay the amnesty amount, tax under the amnesty, so that more and more taxpayers can opt the amnesty scheme. Many taxpayers could not file this form mainly because of the fact that the assessment procedure adopted by many officers were absolutely wrong. Many were issuing manual orders which is not recognized by the portal, or a lot of issues, which were the issues that I will discuss in another video. So otherwise this video will be very long. So it is highly beneficial if this amnesty is extended. Another point is related to 16(4) amnesty. All of us know, when you have availed ITC after the time limit and you have received a notice, demands, in those cases you have time up to 7th of April 2025. That is the last date within which you have to file this 16(4) rectification application. And suppose 16(4) cases, in many 16(4) cases, the cases may be in notice stage or in appeal stage. If it is pending at appeal, never, you shall not withdraw the appeal. At the time of personal hearing, the JC appeals will hear the matter and drop the demand. If the demand is not, the appeal is not pending, that means the amount is confirmed and you have not filed the appeal. In those cases, you have to file the rectification application on or before 7th of April 2025. So that point should be clearly noted, because in 16(4) cases, taxpayer need not make any payment. So don't forget to file this form. That will be disastrous. And if the amount is in appeal, the appellate authority will drop the demand and the pre-deposit amount will be repaid to you. And the last point I would like to share with you is about the time limits in GST. You know that there is separate time limit for section 73 and 74. And for 74, the time limit for financial year 18-19 to issue the notice is 30th of June 2025. So we are now in the month of April. So we have 3 more months, April, May and June, within which we are going to get notices or notices for financial year 18-19. That means on 30th of June 2025, the time limit to issue notice for financial year 18-19 under section 74 will expire. So we have to look into that. We have to follow that, whether any demands are raised, proposed in through notice. And coming to section 73, the time limit for up to 2021 financial year was already over. To issue the notice, to issue the order, everything is over, 2021. Now we are in 21-22. Financial year 21-22, the time limit to issue notice is 30th of September 2025. So by 30th of June, the time limit to issue notice under 74 for 18-19 will be over. And by 30th of September, the time limit to issue notice for financial year 21-22 under section 73 will be over. So we have to keep all these points in mind. Hope you got some valuable inputs from this video. If you are new to this channel, subscribe this channel and share with your friends. I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye.